on fixing up his house.
Hi, my name is Brittany Cook, and today I am presenting my Capstone project, the effects of early ambulation on the hospitalized elderly. So the objectives of the Capstone project was just to explain the prevalence of deconditioning of patients while they're hospitalized, and to explain the benefits of early ambulation that we can have that prevents patients from deconditioning while they're under our hospitalization. So effects of some immobility while hospitalized. Immobility increases length of stay, ability to perform activities of daily living, nursing home placement, and falls. Our patients experience a large amount of immobility, and up to 75% of patients develop a decline in their mobility while they're hospitalized, and this increases placement in nursing home. It can also cause falls because they're not getting mobile as they would at home. The PICO question that I used for this Capstone project was, in hospitalized patients over the age of 65, how do nurse-driven early ambulation protocols compared to current practice affect patient outcomes at time of discharge? So I did an extensive literature review. Some keywords used were elderly, ambulation, nursing outcomes, quality, early ambulation, prevention, mobility. The electronic databases that I used to search were CINAHL and Ovid, and we limited the search with 10 years, research, nursing journal, evidence-based, and English articles only. So, effects of early ambulation. So some of the articles that I researched, one of them was the systemic review conducted by De Silva and Pereira, and it basically proved that there is evidence that early ambulation protocols on nursing units drastically improves the overall outcome of our patients. Basically, what this means is that nurses would, on day of admission, get patients up and walking, regardless of their physiology, and they would get up and walk the patients, and so that they would continue to have the mobility that they did at home. So there was no chance for them to decondition. I also did another systematic review by Pashakanti and Van Ah, and it proved the same results, that it did improve the outcome of their stay. So some major guidelines for early ambulation. They're basically in two categories: assessment and intervention. The assessment, the major guideline was that you do a functional assessment. Nursing does one at the beginning of admission, and that the same assessment tool is used throughout admission to ensure that the patient isn't having changes in mobility while they're here. And then the interventions for nursing would to be maintaining their ADLs, educate the patient and family on the importance of mobility and ambulation, ensure correct activity orders, making sure that the nursing is talking to the physicians, making sure they're not on bed alarms if they don't need bed alarms, making sure that their activity orders are correct, not restricted if they don't need to be. And they need to encourage activity at time of admission, assist with ambulation as soon as physiologically stable, and properly assess patients for fall restrictions and restraints. So we're not using restraints if they're not needed. So the conclusions were that early ambulation improves hospital outcomes. Nursing interventions include assessment, ensuring proper orders, education, assistance, and mobility, and that we need more research to make a standard of care for the for patient guidelines while they're hospitalized. And these are the research references that I used. So that concludes my Capstone project, and I thank you for listening.